Anne Robinson's keeping her contestants in check with The Weakest Link in half an hour. Right now, though, on BBC Two, from the archives, it's classic Mastermind.
In the spotlight tonight is Alistair Lowe from Birmingham, a student, and his specialist subject is Formula One. Howard Pitsey from Kent, a finance manager, and his subject, the life and music of Cliff Richard. Chris Jones from Wakefield, a company director, his subject, the Coen Brothers films, and Alan Frith from Edinburgh, a law student, and his subject, the African leader Kwame Nkrumah. And welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. Like the thousands who've gone before them, tonight's contenders are about to face television's toughest mental test. They'll be questioned on their general knowledge and their specialist subject, but the real adversary is the clock. 2 minutes is all they get. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Alistair Lowe.
Your occupation?
Student.
And your chosen subject?
Formula One, 1980 to the present.
Formula One racing. Who took his first pole position and his first Grand Prix victory in Turkey in 2006?
Felipe Massa.
Yes, which team returned to Formula One in 1989 after a one-year absence during which Bernie Ecclestone sold his controlling interest in them?
Brabham.
Yes, which circuit's first Formula One Grand Prix was held in 93 and was won by Ayrton Senna, who lapped all but one of the other drivers despite having started only fourth on the grid?
Donington Park.
Correct. At which Grand Prix of 2002 did the crowd jeer Michael Schumacher following his win because Rubens Barrichello had been instructed to allow him to pass on the last lap?
Austria.
Yes. Who drove for Williams in the 1982 United States West Grand Prix following Carlos Reutemann's retirement after 2 races of the season?
Pass.
Who designed the high-nose concept for the Tyrrell 019, which was introduced at the beginning of the 1990 season?
Harvey Postlethwaite.
Yes. Which constructor's 79th and final Formula One victory was achieved in the 87 US Grand Prix in Detroit?
Tyrrell.
Lotus, who was banned for 3 races and fined $10,000 for dangerous driving following a 4-car crash in the 94 Brazil Grand Prix?
Eddie Irvine.
Correct. What was the only Grand Prix in which Keke Rosberg started from pole position during his championship-winning season in 1982?
The Swiss.
British. Mika Hakkinen overtook Michael Schumacher and which backmarker in the same manoeuvre to steal victory at the 2000 Belgian Grand Prix?
Riccardo Zonta.
Yes. Who followed Michael Schumacher from Benetton to Ferrari when he became the Italian team's technical director in 1997?
Ross Brawn.
Yes. Which driver's only victory during a 12-year career in Formula One was in the 95 Canadian Grand Prix?
John Alesi.
Yes. When Mercedes returned to Formula One in 1993 after a 38-year absence, they commissioned Ilmor to design engines for which team?
Sauber.
Yes. Which British driver won the Jim Clark Trophy, which was awarded in 87 to the top-scoring driver of a car powered by a non-turbo engine?
Nigel Mansell.
Jonathan Palmer. Which carbon fibre chassis designed by John Barnard was the key to McLaren's domination of the sport in the late 1980s and early 90s?
The MP4.
Yes. Which driver gave Benetton both their first and last Grand Prix victories? Take a guess.
Nelson Piquet.
Gerhard Berger, you had just 1 pass. It was Mario Andretti who drove for Williams in that 82 race. 1 pass, Alistair Lowe, 11 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Howard Pitsey.
Your occupation?
Finance manager.
And your chosen subject?
The life and music of Cliff Richard.
Cliff Richard in 2 minutes. Which track from the 1979 album Rock and Roll Juvenile is Richard's biggest-selling single worldwide to date?
We Don't Talk Anymore.
Correct. Which guitarist wrote Cliff's first 2 singles, Move It and High Class Baby, before Jet Harris replaced him as a member of the Drifters?
Ian Samwell.
Yes. In which 67 film made for the Billy Graham organisation does he play a drug-dealing art student called Jamie?
To a penny.
Correct. What name was shared by the church where Cliff was christened and his first school at Howrah in Calcutta?
St Thomas's.
Yes. Who produced his two 1976 singles, Devil Woman and Miss Unites?
Bruce Welch.
Yes. Cliff Richard appeared in which 69 90s television series of 6 half-hour modern parables, to which he also contributed songs written with David Winter?
Life with Johnny.
Yes. Who became his stepfather on the 18th of June 1966 at Epping Registry Office, although he was 3 years younger than Cliff?
Derek Bodkin.
Correct. In May 1960, when a group of fans were invited to choose his next single, which song did they choose? It became his third UK #1.
Please Don't Tease.
Yes. Which Bishop of Willesden, who later became Bishop of London, confirmed Cliff in December 1967?
Graham Leonard.
Correct. In which Peter Shaffer play did Cliff Richard appear in his first straight acting role on stage, playing Clive Harrington at the New Theatre Bromley in 1970?
Five Finger Exercise.
Yes, in 98, under what name did he release a remix of Can't Keep This Feeling In, because he was unable to get radio airplay time under his own name?
Black Knight.
Yes. Which 1972 single was the first one that he recorded without Norrie Paramore and also became his first not to make the UK Top 50?
A Brand New Song.
Correct. Which Caribbean country did Cliff Richard visit in 84 on behalf of the Tear Fund?
Haiti.
Yes. Cliff got his first writing credit on which hit single, which he co-wrote with Bruce Welch?
Bachelor Boy.
Yes. In which Derbyshire town is the Regal Ballroom, where he and his band first appeared as Cliff Richard and the Drifters on the 3rd of May 1958?
Ripley.
Yes. What was the title of his first album of religious songs, which was released in October 1967?
Good News.
Yes. Which of his single releases entered the UK charts at #1?
The Young Ones.
Yes. In which city did Cliff and the Shadows play their first North American concert in January 1960?
Montreal.
Yes. What was the title, I've started so I'll finish, of the single that was withdrawn in 1975 after Cliff refused to promote it once he became aware of the true meaning of the lyrics?
Honky Tonk Angel.
Absolutely right. No passes, 19 points.
Thank you.
Well, that's one to beat. Our next contender, please. And your name?
Chris Jones,
Your occupation?
company director,
And your chosen subject?
the Coen Brothers films.
The Coen Brothers film in 2 minutes. Who played Bernie Birnbaum in Miller's Crossing and went on to have major roles in several other Coen Brothers films?
John Turturro,
Yes. What is the name of Barton Fink's successful Broadway play whose final scene is being performed as the film begins?
pass.
In which Las Vegas chapel do Miles Massey and Marilyn Rexroth Doyle get married in Intolerable Cruelty?
Pass.
In Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, what does Delmar think Pete has been turned into when he disappears after their encounter with the sirens?
Toad.
Yes. From which novel by Dashiell Hammett did the Coen brothers take the title for Blood Simple?
Red Harvest.
Yes. In Fargo, in which town does Marge Gunderson work as a police officer?
Brainerd.
Yes. Who collaborated with the Coen brothers on the screenplay for The Hudsucker Proxy and plays the snickering gunman in Miller's Crossing?
Sam Raimi.
Yes. What's the name of the prison counsellor who leads the therapy sessions that Hy McDonough and the Snotes brothers attend in Raising Arizona?
Pass.
Who plays the budding pianist Rachel Birdie Abundas in The Man Who Wasn't There?
Scarlett Johansson.
Yes. Under what assumed name have the Coen brothers edited several of their films?
Roderick James.
Yes. In a fantasy sequence in The Big Lebowski, what is the title of the film in which the dude teaches Maud Lebowski how to bowl?
Butterballs.
Yes. When Norval Barnes falls from the 44th floor of Hudsucker Industries, a broomstick and what other object stop the clock and cause time to freeze?
False Teeth.
Yes. Whose appearance in Barton Fink earned him the first Academy Award nomination that any actor had received for their performance in a Coen brothers film?
Michael Lerner.
Yes. In Intolerable Cruelty, what does Heinz the Baron Kraus von Espy hold in his hands throughout his testimony at the Rexroth divorce hearing?
His little dog.
Yes. What does Abby throw at the light bulb to put it out when she's trying to hide from the private detective in Blood Simple?
Shoe.
Yes. In The Big Lebowski, what is in the suitcase that Walter throws out of the car window as a substitute for the ransom money the dude has been employed to deliver?
His used underwear.
Yes. What's the name of Jerry Lundegaard's colleague who puts him in touch with the men he employs to kidnap his wife in Fargo?
Shep Proudfoot.
Correct. In Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, what's the profession of Everett's wife's new suitor, Vernon T. Waldrip?
Political advisor.
Correct. You had 3 passes altogether. Doc Schwartz was the name of the prison counsellor. The Wee Cook of the Heather was the Las Vegas chapel, and Bare Ruined Choirs was the name of the Barton Fink successful Broadway play. 3 passes. Chris Jones, 15 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Alan Frith.
Your occupation?
I'm a law student.
And your chosen subject?
The life and career of Kwame Nkrumah.
Kwame Nkrumah in 2 minutes. What name did Kwame Nkrumah give to the political party that he founded in June 1949 in the Gold Coast, which later became Ghana?
The Convention People's Party.
Yes, Nkrumah was given his first name according to local custom because he was born on which day of the week?
Saturday.
Yes, which Trinidadian former journalist was a great influence on Nkrumah and was his advisor on African policy until 1959?
Padmore.
George Padmore, yes. By which 1958 Act of Parliament was Nkrumah able to imprison people without trial and detain them for 5 years?
Preventive detention.
Yes. What name which Marcus Garvey had given to the shipping line for his Back to Africa movement did Nkrumah give to Ghana's fleet?
Black Star.
Yes. In which house in Conakry did Nkrumah establish himself with a large retinue of people when he returned to Africa after the coup of February 1966?
Pass.
In August 62, Nkrumah was injured in an attempted assassination near which town while returning from an official visit to Upper Volta?
Kulungugu.
Yes, after the Gold Coast first general election in 51, Nkrumah was released from prison and appointed to which government post?
Leader of government business.
Yes, Nkrumah stayed at an address on which road in Tufnell Park, London, until he returned to the Gold Coast in 1947?
Burley Street. Burley Road.
Yes. Which lawyer who befriended Nkrumah in London and first brought him to the attention of the national leadership in the Gold Coast was arrested after the 62 assassination attempt?
Akwaje.
Yes. After Ghana's independence, Nkrumah set up which movement to give ideological education to the youth of the country?
Young Pioneers.
Yes. What was the name of the teacher training college attended by Nkrumah in the late 20s, which the governor, Sir Gordon Guggisberg, was instrumental in founding?
Well, it was the Akara Training College, but it was Mutu Achimota later.
The name of the college?
Achimota.
Yes. Following the general election of 51, Nkrumah approved the Volta Dam project and the building of which new harbour?
Tema.
Yes, according to his book I Speak of Freedom, Nkrumah became the first African to be admitted to which body when he visited the Queen at Balmoral in 59?
Privy Council.
Yes, what was the original nationality of Fatia, whom he married in a civil ceremony in 1957?
Egyptian.
Yes, in which small town where he'd been born was Nkrumah buried after a state funeral in 72?
Nkroffel.
Yes, who became his secretary in 54 and remained with him until his fall from power?
Erica Powell.
Yes, what name was given to Nkrumah's famous call? Finish the question to the people of April 61 when he addressed the issue of corruption among party members.
The Dawn Broadcast.
The Dawn broadcast it was. You had one pass. Villa Sealy was the house in which he established himself. You have 17 points. So that's the end of the first round. Specialist subjects, very high scoring. Let's have a look at the scores. In fourth place with 11 points, Alistair Lowe. Third place with 15 points, Chris Jones. Second place with 17 points, Alan Frith. In the lead with a remarkable 19 points, Howard Pitsey. So, the general knowledge round now, and if there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes get taken into account, and if there's still a tie, well, then we have a tie break. But let's get on now with the general knowledge round, and let me ask Alistair Lowe to join us again, if he would, please. And you're the Formula One man. I suppose the world divides into those who are passionate about it and those who can't stand it, and I'm in the latter category, I'm afraid. I mean, isn't it boringly predictable? If you've got the fastest car, you'll win.
Not necessarily.
No?
I do like to disagree with that one. Certainly of recent years, namely the Schumacher-dominated years in the sort of early 2000s, that was the case. But at the moment, you're seeing a lot of new people coming through. The cars are a lot more even. So, you know, if you've got the fastest car, it's not necessarily so much faster than the others that you're necessarily going to win.
Because, I mean, the other thing, tell me if I'm wrong again, but if you start in pole position, the odds are you'll win, aren't they?
A lot of people aren't converting pole position anymore into race wins. Overtaking is a lot more common than people think it is. And so that's not necessarily always the case now.
Right, we leave it there while I'm ahead. You got 11 points. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes. Which element, along with carbon and hydrogen, is a constituent of all carbohydrates?
Pass.
Which English rebel leader was dragged out of St Bartholomew's Hospital and beheaded in 1381 on the orders of William Walworth, the Mayor of London?
What, Tyler?
Yes. What did the South American poet Pablo Neruda describe as my thin country?
Pass.
Which district of the borough of Trafford has given its name to an end at the Old Trafford football and cricket grounds?
Pass.
The stones of which fruit give the liqueur amaretto its distinctive almond flavour?
Pass on that one as well.
What's the name of the estuary that begins at the confluence of the rivers Ouse and Trent and extends to the North Sea?
The Wash.
the Humber. Which James Bond villain shares his surname with a well-known cricket commentator whose father was a contemporary of Ian Fleming's at Eton?
Blofeld.
Yes. Which exponent of action painting died in 1956 when he crashed his car while he was drunk?
Warhol.
Pollock, Jackson Pollock. What word meaning a complete failure is also the Italian for a bottle or flask?
Don't know.
Which of the Baltic states was the centre of a Grand Duchy and was one of the most important powers in Eastern Europe from the 14th to the 16th centuries?
Bohemia.
Lithuania. In 2000, which Welsh rock band had a hit single with the masses against the classes, the title of which was taken from a speech made by Gladstone in Liverpool in 1886?
Manic Street Preachers.
Yes. Thérèse Raquin, published in 1867, was which French writer's first major novel?
Pass.
Who in June 2006 announced that he'd be stepping back from his involvement with Microsoft to spend more time on his charitable organisation?
Bill Gates.
Yes. Which dinosaur became officially known as the Apatosaurus in 1974, although its former name is still widely in use?
Diplodocus.
Brontosaurus. The Potala Palace in Lhasa is the former home of which religious leader?
Dalai Lama.
Yes. Which Australian city was named after the wife of South Australia's, I'll finish the question, Postmaster General by the team laying the Adelaide to Darwin telegraph line?
Alice Springs.
Alice Springs is correct. You had 6 passes altogether. Émile Zola was the French writer, Thérèse Raquin. Fiasco also is the Italian for a bottle or flask. Apricot gives the liquor amaretto its flavour. Stretford, it's the Stretford end at Old Trafford. Chile is my thin country, according to Neruda. And oxygen is that element that I was looking for, constituent of all carbohydrates. 6 passes, Alistair Lowe, a total of 17 points.
Thank you, John.
And now Chris Jones, please. The Coen brothers, Joel and Ethan. They call them two-headed directors. Why is
They
that?
have been called that. They have this knack because they're so sure of what they want to make and they have complete control of their films. Actors have said that they can ask a question of them independently and they'll always give the same answer. They both seem to know exactly what they want.
And they do it all, really.
Yeah, generally they write it together, they direct it, they produce it, they even edit it under a false name.
Now, why the false name for the editing?
They were embarrassed by how often their names appeared on the credits, so they thought they'd better use a pseudonym for
What
a bit
would
of
have happened if they'd won an award for the editing?
I think, well, they were nominated for an Oscar for Fargo, and Albert Finney was going to dress up as this Roderick James, this character. He was an Englishman who'd worked on Carry On films, apparently, and they were going to get him to go and get the Oscar.
Right, well, you scored 15 points, very high score. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge in 2 minutes. Which London thoroughfare is traditionally associated with high-quality tailoring?
Savile Row.
Yes, in 1883, which painter moved to the village of Giverny, about 80 kilometres from Paris, where he lived until his death in 1926?
Monet?
Yes, in 1986, the government tried to stop the publication of which book by the former senior intelligence officer Peter Wright?
Spycatcher.
Yes, which is the largest member of the deer family?
The elk.
The moose, yes, the elk. Which plants were devastated by the small yellowish-green insect Phylloxera vitifoliae in Europe in the 19th century?
Vines.
Yes. Who did the Turkish government Mehmet Ali Atcar attempt to assassinate on the 13th of May 1981?
Pope John Paul II.
Yes. In which television comedy was the family business based at Oil Drum Lane, Shepherd's Bush?
Steptoe and Son.
Yes. Which ancient Greek philosopher gives an account of Socrates' last days in 3 of his dialogues?
Plato.
Yes. What was the name of the girl who, according to a group of poems by Wordsworth, dwelt among the untrodden ways beside the springs of Dove?
Pass.
Which Football League club is named after the day of the week when its original players took a half-day off work in order to participate?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes. Which word derived from the Old French for a splinter of wood is used to describe an artist's workshop or studio?
A garret.
Atelier, who served just less than 12 months as Britain's Prime Minister from October 1963 to October 64?
I like Douglas Hume.
Yes. Which novel by James Joyce deals with the events in Dublin on one day, the 16th of June 1904?
Ulysses.
Yes. Which type of lager takes its name from the town now in the Czech Republic where it was originally brewed in 1842?
Pilsner.
Yes. What name's given to the use of a specific chemical substance to stop the progress of disease in the body, such as the use of cytotoxic chemicals to treat cancer?
Antigen.
Chemotherapy. Which Manchester-born actor and comedian plays the Austrian ambassador Mercy in the 2006 film Marie Antoinette?
Pass.
Which was the last pitched battle to be fought on English soil? It took place in July 1685.
Pass.
Who famously competed with his father as part of a male voice choir from Modena at the 1955 International Eisteddfod at Llangollen?
Pavarotti.
Yes, which legendary king, noted for his greed, judged against Apollo? I'll finish the question. In a music contest and was given ass's ears as a punishment.
Midas.
Midas it was. You had 3 passes. It was the Battle of Sedgemoor. That was the last pitched battle. Steve Coogan played the Austrian ambassador. And Lucy was the name of the girl whom Wordsworth wrote about. 3 passes, a total, Chris Jones, of 29 points. And now Alan Frith, please. And I have to ask you how you know so much about Kwame Nkrumah. Did you live in Ghana or something?
I worked there for 2 years in
Right.
the 80s.
What about him? I mean, he's seen both as an extraordinary leader, in a sense, the first leader of the African freedom movement, but a flawed man.
Well, it's a pretty bad failure to have people dancing in the street when you're overthrown. So, yes, a failure, but he had some good ideas.
So how important was he in the story of post-colonial Africa?
There was, I think, a BBC World Service poll that said that Ghana was the most admired African leader. And I think, yes, I mean, he's still potentially an inspiration, I think.
Right. Well, you've scored 17 points with him, which is a very high score. And as you'll know, almost everybody is scoring very highly tonight. So at the moment, the score you have to beat is 29. Yeah. Let's see if you can do that with your general knowledge. 2 minutes. Which Irish-born writer gained worldwide fame in the 1950s with his play Waiting for Godot?
Beckett.
Yes. Which metallic element discovered by Martin Klaproth in 1789 was named after a planet that had itself been discovered 8 years earlier?
Uranium.
Yes. Who made her concert debut in Purcell's Dido and Aeneas in Sydney in 1947?
Janet Sutherland.
Joan Sutherland. In which county is Charnwood Forest?
Derbyshire.
Leicestershire. In 2005, which artist created an installation of 100 cast-iron figures of naked men at Crosby Beach on Merseyside?
Gormley.
Yes. What's the name of the Benedictine monk who, according to popular legend, invented champagne?
Dom Perignon.
Yes. Peachtree Street, named after an old Indian trail and settlement, is the main north-south artery of which city in the southern United States?
Atlanta.
Yes. Which dance, traditionally performed by British sailors, was originally accompanied by the instrument from which it takes its name?
Hornpipe.
Yes. Sometimes used instead of BC, or before Christ. For what do the initials BCE stand?
Before the Common Era.
Yes. Which county's rugby union supporters are known as Trelawney's Army?
Cornwall.
Yes. Which actor, better known for his parts in musicals, received an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his role in The Towering Inferno?
Fred Astaire.
Yes. How were Edward and Richard, the sons of King Edward IV, known because of their imprisonment by their uncle Richard III?
Princes in the Tower.
Yes. Which word for a general vote by the electorate on a single issue comes from the Latin for something to be carried back?
Referendum.
Correct. Ray Dorset was the lead singer with which early 70s group who took their name from one of T.S. Eliot's cats?
Pass.
Who was the first secretary of the Soviet Communist Party from 53 to 64 and the Soviet premier from 58 to 64?
Khrushchev.
Yes. Which Welsh river flows into the Severn Estuary at Newport and has a name with the same origin as the word whiskey?
Why?
The Usk. Which actor who played Alf Garner's adversary until death us do part is Tony Blair's father-in-law?
Tony Booth.
Correct. For what purpose... Start yourself, finish. For what purpose was diethyl ether widely used in medicine?
As an anaesthetic.
It was. You had 1 pass. Mungo Jerry was the group of which Ray Dorset was the lead singer. 1 pass, Alan Frith, 31 points. Well, Howard Pitsey now, please. My word, this is a tough contest. Cliff Richard, how come you know everything there is to know about? You only get 1 wrong.
I don't know everything there is to be known about him, but if there's something I don't know, I'm not aware of it yet.
So, are you a fan?
I'm a great admirer of his because for someone who has lasted in show business for almost half a century, he must have something.
His record as a pop singer is absolutely extraordinary, isn't it? I mean,
It's phenomenal.
the number of records he's sold.
Yes, I think out of about 100, more than that, well over 100 singles, I think about 7 have failed to make the charts, which is, whatever you think of his music, that is phenomenal.
So he's got to be doing something right, isn't he?
Yes, I wish I knew what it was.
Well, don't we all? We'd bottle it, wouldn't we? Yeah. Right, well, 19 points. That is about as high as you can get in the first round. However, you now have to beat 31 points. So let's see if you can do it in 2 minutes. Here we go. For which particular form of equestrianism has Zara Phillips won individual world and European titles?
Dressage.
Eventing. Which actress played Gary Cooper's Quaker bride in the film High Noon?
Grace Kelly.
Yes. Whose statue of David was originally placed in front of the Palazzo Vecchio in Florence, where a copy now stands?
Michelangelo.
Yes. Which author born in northern Rhodesia in 1933 has written novels about the Courtenay and Ballantyne families?
Pass.
Ananda, who lived in the 6th century BC, was the first cousin and most devoted disciple of which religious leader?
Mohammed.
Buddha. What term is used for a question that's asked to make a statement rather than to elicit an answer?
Rhetorical question.
Yes, apart from the Maldive Islands, which is the only Asian country through which the equator passes?
Indonesia.
Yes, which playwright married the historian Lady Antonia Fraser in 1980 after his divorce from the actress Vivian Merchant?
Hal Pinter.
Correct. What's the common name of Coturnix coturnix, a game bird resembling a small partridge whose eggs and flesh are considered a delicacy?
Quail.
Yes. Which island has St Boniface Down as its highest point and St Catherine's Point as its southernmost?
The Isle of Man.
Isle of Wight. Which element has the lowest normal boiling point?
Helium.
Yes. Who wrote the 1932 Pulitzer Prize-winning novel The Good Earth, which contributed to her receiving the 1938 Nobel Prize for Literature?
Pearl Buck.
Correct. At the 1980 Democratic Convention, the mother of which American president said, "Sometimes when I look at my children, I say to myself, Lillian, you should have stayed a virgin."
Jimmy Carter.
Yes. Which Victorian artist painted the Old Shepherd's chief mourner showing a dog beside a coffin?
Rossetti.
Landseer. What name was given to the prefabricated cargo ships designed by William Gibbs and first produced by Henry Kaiser in the early 40s that took only a few weeks to build?
Pass.
Which singer released the album Duets, an American classic, in 2006 and also celebrated his 80th birthday in the same year?
Pass.
Which light-sensitive cells located in the retina of the human eye are responsible for mediating colour vision?
Rods.
Cones. In One Foot in the Grave, what was Victor Meldrew's occupation before his retirement?
The security guard.
Yes. Bedfordshire champion at Express Yellow are among the varieties of which vegetable?
Potato.
Onion. Which German educationist founded Gordonston School in 1934 and provided the inspiration for the Outward Bound movement?
Oh.
Take a guess.
Froebel.
I shall have to tell you. Well, you know, it's Kurt Hahn. You had 3 passes in total. Tony Bennett was that singer who was 80 in 2006. Liberty ships were those prefabricated cargo ships. And Wilbur Smith was the author born in northern Rhodesia in 1933. 3 passes, Howard Pitsey, 29 points. So, at the end of that extraordinary round, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 17 points, Alistair Lowe. Joint 2nd place with 29 points, very high score in itself, Howard Pitsey and Chris Jones. In 1st place with 31 points, Alan Frith. Which means, of course, that Alan Frith goes through to the next round. Congratulations to him. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Who's the strongest of them all? The weakest link is about to find out next year on BBC Two. Then it's the turn of our 2 remaining Welsh chefs to pull it out the stops on the Great British Menu at 2:15, followed by Floyd on fish, and we're off to an oyster farm with Keith while there's mussels on the menu at 2:45.